I thought it might help if I explained a little bit about what my contribution, what I'm trying to say in my contribution. So I'll just do this relatively quickly, so I hopefully will make it a little bit clearer, but I won't take up so much time. So for the first part of this module's activities, the first contribution, I just wanted to focus on one part of the general kind of class routine when I run a class, and when I and my co-teachers run a class. So every session we have this process, and the 6 stages are here, and I'll go over those in other places, and you'll see they probably parallel the normal things that everybody else does. You have a provocation, you have individual work, group work, just with a couple of emphases that really speak to autonomy and inquiry, or at least we're attempting to do that. That's why I'm taking this course, to see if we're actually able to articulate what we're attempting or not. So the one I wanted to focus on it's as you can see highlighted, it's step 4 generally. Now these steps, they're flexible, they move around all the time, but this is the basic idea. Step 4 is, once our standing meeting, our huddle is over, and we've discussed what we're going to do, there's a cue to work. And every time we reach this stage, I or one of my co-teachers will say, make it happen. But the make it happen routine changes across the year. And it takes place kind of generally to the class. I'll say, make it happen. But then I will go to each team within the class, and I will kind of have a deeper conversation. Not that much deeper, but basically I will start off the process with a few more questions depending on where we are in the year. And something I buried the lead on is I try to run all of my classes as if we're a design team, or we're kind of like, we're a group of teams, So the students will each have team leaders, or they'll have a group of team leaders, a steering committee, and they'll be working on projects and creating products. Even though I teach theory of knowledge, we still regard the kind of, like the production of that knowledge as a product. So it all depends, but we try to kind of maintain this simulation of working in a design company or working in a think tank in order to produce something. And therefore, when I say make it happen, they know to go to their design teams and start making it happen. So hopefully that makes some sense, and I will hopefully go over the other stages in the second part of this module's kind of contribution, the second contribution. But today, just introducing this idea of make it happen, is in quarter 1, there are a few more questions, and then there's a decreasing number of questions as we go through the year, because I'm trying to move from structured to guided to free inquiry across the year, and we try to kind of make this tangible and understandable to students in the kind of cue to work, in the way that we cue them off to work. So in quarter 1, we start with the question, can you make this happen? Which is a rhetorical question, right? We ask them this question in order to kind of like allow them to express doubts, and in order to get them familiar with the idea that they can make this happen. But in our minds, it is very rhetorical. Perhaps the students in the first quarter are thinking, no, I can't make this happen. But we move them away from that kind of thinking very, very quickly. So then we follow up with, what do you need to make it happen? How can I help you make this happen? Make it happen. So, we give them this, we guide them, and we provide them with support, and we do this through this tangible routine of asking them questions. So, can you make it happen? It's rhetorical, you can. So what do you need to make it happen? What do you need? Then how can I help you make this happen? And then go, make it happen. Quarter 2, we get rid of the can you make this happen. Hopefully we've established that they can, in fact, make anything we're asking them to do happen. So what do you need to make this happen? How can I help you make this happen? Make it happen. And I think you can see where this is going. By quarter 3, and by the way, the overall context, we tend to do a long unit across a quarter. So we have 4 units per year, and we have 4 major products. Lots of little formative products, but 4 major products per year. So in quarter 3, we're already at the point where, like, boom, you don't really know, you can handle yourself, but you don't really need me as much. So what do you need to make this happen? Right? So just let me know what I can provide to you so that you can make this happen. And then quarter four, total, autonomous inquiry, hopefully. And we just say, make it happen. And then that doesn't mean, of course, that they can't ask us for help. It's just that we're not going to provide the structure of, so do you need help? Do you want help? They will hopefully know by quarter four that we are a resource for them to accomplish their own learning. So we just say, make it happen. And then if they need something, they know who to go to, whether it be me or someone outside of the class or some other resource like the library or whatever. And hopefully, considering that I teach students over 2 years, like hopefully over the first year we can do this and we can make this process clear so that by the second year they hit the ground running and they're just making it happen. So I just wanted to explain this process, and hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. And I just noticed that I don't have the end quote on make it happen, and I'm not recording the video again, although that bothers me. All right, thank you for listening, and I hope that made sense.